I thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I am here tonight to urge you to do...
Tara, your address for the record, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. 4 Angel Road, Narragansett, Rhode Island.
Thank you.
I am here tonight to urge you to do what you know you have to do, what you know is the only right thing to do, and that is to appeal the egregious ruling that was made last week against the Cranston West banner. And let me clear up any confusion. Judge Lagur was not right in his ruling. His ruling last week was devastating to religious freedom. It establishes atheism as the school's and the state's religion while blatantly disregarding and discriminating against the rights to religious freedom for every other religion except atheism. Now, atheism has been recognized as a religion by both the U.S. Supreme Court and the Seventh Circuit for the purposes of the Establishment Clause and the First Amendment. They recognize non-religion and atheism as a religion for the purposes of the First Amendment and the Establishment Clause. The ruling last week set federal precedent, so that means for the entire district. And it will have a horrible effect on every school in the country if not appealed. Also, if you do not appeal the ruling, the city of Cranston will have to pay the ACLU the attorney fees ruled by the judge. Now, we've been advised by the ACLJ, which is the American Center for Law and Justice, that the plaintiff in this case did not have standing. So the appeal is very likely, your appeal is very likely to be successful. And even if it weren't, you have $133 million in your budget. I'd say that defending the rights of students, alumni at Cranston West, and not only them, but the millions of students and alumni and U.S. citizens that will bear the fallout of this decision if you do not appeal it, is worth the fight. Now, I want to call your attention to, actually, this is very ironic, on the same day that this horrible decision happened, a few months before, In God We Trust was upheld, was reaffirmed as our national motto by the U.S. House of Representatives. The resolution was designed to clear up any confusion over the motto's official status and to encourage schools and other public institutions to display it, said Representative Randy Forbes, Republican of Virginia and the measure sponsor. The resolution to reaffirm In God We Trust as the nation's motto passed 396 to 9. And I'm going to leave you with two quotes. One is this, and especially in honor of Martin Luther King Day, which was yesterday. Martin Luther King said, "He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps to perpetrate it. He who accepts evil without protesting against it is really cooperating with it." And one more. Ronald Reagan said, if we ever forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under. Thank you very much.
Mr. Paolello, you're after Mr. Young.
Well, Cara Russo is obviously a hard act to follow, but what clearly is demonstrated here is that the American Center for Law and Justice is willing to review this case and possibly represent it for free for the city. I've spoken with their lead attorney, and he stated that, and he would like to speak with the city council and members of the school committee, and he would love to help represent the city upon review of the case. Now, the issue again becomes who has standing in this case. Now, Ms. Alquist, according to the American Center for Law and Justice, does not have standing. She was not a taxpayer 49 years ago. She did not pay the maintenance staff to put the banner up. According to case law, the lead attorney for the American Center for Law and Justice says that she doesn't have standing because she had no real loss. Feelings, emotions are not a cause for standing, and that's a good cause for appeal. Also, they're willing to argue on the atheist religion portion of this case. Non-religion, according to the case that was cited in the court's decision on page 26 of the decision, which was McCreary County, Kentucky versus the American Civil Liberties Union of 2005. The court states clearly that non-religion is considered the same as religion under the First Amendment and Establishment Clause. A simple argument to that effect could establish the rights of schools again to allow for equality of religion in public schools, not just non-religion or atheism, Every student who enters that auditorium now is going to see that blank wall and know that that banner was there. Every student's going to say, well, that's where my belief was, or the banner that I believed in stood, and that was torn down by the city without any type of defense for the students. Now, the American Center for Law and Justice is willing to take these petitions we've collected from the students and petition the court to take control of this case if you do not act on the benefit of these students. Now, that would be a sad reflection on you, that you will not represent these students at the school. But the students have collected petitions and signatures, and they have standing in this case to petition the court to seize control over the case if you refuse to do the appeal. Now, also, obviously, we know that these comments that are made in the media that people are attacking Ms. Alquist, the plaintiff in this case, seem to be propaganda. You know, clearly there are people that have done that. Many people believe that atheists have egged them on and antagonized them, such as one person who spoke here tonight, making people believe that religion is tied to prostitution. That's instigation. That's causing people to incite a riot. That's causing people to say things. Ms. Alquist stated, there's a blog on Ms. Alquist's Twitter account. I don't know if it's hers or not, but it says, pep rally has everything I love. Ass-kissing Mayor Fung, crappy administration, that would be you, obnoxious classmates, and bad music. That's a post that she put November 9th on her Twitter account, or a Twitter account under the name of Jessica Alquist. Now clearly, this type of propaganda is not perpetrated, it's not presented by the media. And these types of positions, including the positions that were submitted into the record last time, where, one second to wrap up, where she stated before, or someone under the name of Jessica Alquist said that it was a good, funny idea to pee on the banner.
Okay.
Now, that was submitted into the record, and I have a copy of that, and I would like to submit it into the record. I'd like to submit this documentation into the record.
You can give it to Gail right next to you.